So when you think the ending of Game of Thrones couldn't get any worse, here comes David and Dan and say, hold my beer. What's up, everybody? Today I wanted to talk about Game of Thrones. Now, to be quite honest, I completely over the ending of Game of Thrones. It's been a couple of months now. However, there's still a lot of talk about it. Fans are still angry. During Comic-Con, it was a pretty hot topic, to be honest, you know, first and foremost because David and Dan didn't show up to the panel, even though they said they would. And, you know, that was a big mistake. If they said they were going to go, they should have owned up and just said, okay, we're going to go. But they didn't show up, and that just made things worse. It made things worse because HBO boss said, oh, we don't care about the petition, blah, 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 blah. But of course they do, because, you know, and David and Dan are disappeared right now. We haven't heard from them, no like talk to the media or anything like that, and that's all odd, you know. Like they should have never said that they were going to go to Comic-Con if they were just not going to show up, you know. I even made a video about it, and Seth Rogen kind of roasted David and Dan on his own panel that came right after Game of Thrones. I'll show you a little clip over here, because they didn't show up. They said they should have owned up. They should have come here and answered fan questions.
I do just want to start by saying I know we're following the Game of Thrones panel, which is a fucking nightmare, just objectively. I also know that their showrunners didn't show up because they didn't want to answer questions about the show. So I just want to say that I am not one of the creators of Game of Thrones, but I am the creator of other TV shows. So feel free to ask me any Game of Thrones questions you guys have throughout the night. I'm not an expert. I didn't read the books, but I watched the show, so I can give you my insights and thoughts just as to how they pull it off. Yeah.
However, you guys, to be honest with you, I'm quite over it. Now I'm just laughing at Game of Thrones at that ending. It's a show that unfortunately I did love. There's so many good things about it. I still hope that the actors win an Emmy. I think that they had great performances. If there is a nomination for visual effects, I hope they win because the visual effects were amazing. However, they were also nominated for writing, and that is just laughable. So when you get a writing nomination for an Emmy, you have to show the scripts. And well, now we have parts of the script, and even though David and Dan were not man enough to show up to Comic-Con and actually talk and answer fan questions, there's some of this stuff that were answered when you read the script, and to be honest with you, it is laughable, you guys. It is really like a child wrote this, like the stuff that they wrote. Even I'm laughing in here. So whatever with these two, I honestly right now I'm thinking maybe they didn't get enough money, and that's why they slacked. They were trolling everybody, including HBO. I just don't understand why they had to sink their own careers like this. And guess what? They're coming for Star Wars. Oh boy. Okay, so let's read this. So this article over here says Game of Thrones Season 8 Episode 6 Finale Script Review. See the craziest reviews. Now, seriously. Crazy. Okay, so I'm just gonna I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'm just gonna jump directly to the script part. So remember their part where Tyrion is actually talking on his own trial, right? So that's the scene right over here. So when Tyrion said that Bran should be king and was waiting for his answer, the script reads, finally Bran looks around at all the important people waiting to hear his decision. He looks at Tyrion. Bran doesn't really smile anymore, but there is the smallest hint of amusement on his face as his answer, why do you think I came all this way? A strange response, but Tyrion has come to expect strange answers from Bran. So that's another laughable thing right here. Whatever. Fans have a good point about this moment. Shouldn't Tyrion have realized that Bran let everyone burn if he knew what was happening? There's just so many questions, you know. Yeah, and then of course the memes are really hilarious. Now, the other review is that Drogon, remember how all the fans have all these crazy theories, oh, it was a metaphor, symbolism, and all of these things, because the fans always have better ideas than the writers themselves. Guess what? No, Drogon actually burned the throne accidentally. So sometimes I think, wow, they should have not show this to the public, but yes, they did. Look at this. Me, when I see the script that Drogo didn't even try to destroy the throne, it was just a bystander that coincidentally received all the dragon fire until it was destroyed. I love memes. After Jon killed Daenerys, he realized that he has nothing to live for. We're told that's why he didn't run when Drogon showed up. Jon doesn't flee. He has no interest in avoiding death. He has nothing left to live for. He stands and steps away from Dany's body. Okay. But he also apparently is still in love with Daenerys. That's another thing that is very confusing because he did deny her days before. But in my opinion, I thought he always loved her. They just didn't, the script is just poorly written. They didn't even give the characters enough dialogue so we could understand what's going on behind their minds. Like if you read the books, you would know that all the characters have very extensive dialogues, and that's how we can get into their minds and we understand what's going on. But no dialogue in this finale. He looks into the eyes of the woman he loves. This kind of runs counter to the earlier episode when we were supposed to believe that Jon was really disturbed by learning that Dany was his aunt and he didn't want to kiss her anymore. It's true because he did seem very disturbed. Remember, especially when Daenerys had lost so much, she was grieving and he couldn't even console her with a hug. I just thought that was very odd. I totally agree with this. Remember when Daenerys said, "Fear it is," after Jon rejected her? Now we're told that he loves her again. It's just all a complete mess. We also saw that there was a line on page 16 where Dany told Jon about her vision in the Iron Throne. This was cut from the final script actually. So the line goes like this: "But many years later I saw it, the real thing." Jon: "How?" Dany: "In a vision, the roof, the snow, the throne, it all looked exactly like this." So after Jon kills Dany, the script tells us that Drogon will not kill Jon, though it doesn't explain why, which is all what we want to know. It also says that Drogon accidentally burned the Iron Throne and didn't do it on purpose. Okay, now this is probably the biggest laughable moment for me. Like, let's read this together. "But the blast is not for him. Drogon wants to burn the world, but he will not kill Jon. He breathes fire on the back wall, blasting down what remains of the great red block of stone." We look over Jon's shoulder as he fire sweeps towards the throne, not the target of Drogon's wrath, just a dumb bystander caught in the conflagration. Oh my god. This is hilarious, guys. And then it gets worse. Look at this. Yara didn't demand Jon's punishment because she was afraid of Arya. Are you kidding me? So she's not like other girls. Look at what the script says. Arya: "Say another word about killing my brother and I'll cut your throat." Yara opens her mouth to respond but sees the look on Arya's face. Yara is as tough as they come, but Arya is different. Arya is different. And then Arya is the one saying, "I know I kill her when I see one." But I mean, she murdered a ton of people and she gets no punishment. Because remember the world, if you know the world of Game of Thrones, there's no good and bad character, you know, per se. And if you act on vengeance, you always get punished, but not Arya. Oh my goodness, this is terrible. Now, look at this one. This one is even worse, right? So Dany is described as a satanic majesty in the script. So this is the same woman that on season 7 basically risked her life and lost her dragon to go save Jon, you know, because I'm pretty sure Satan has no reason or he's incapable of loving someone, yet we know that Dany loves Jon. So this is just man, they did Dany dirty. So remember that beautiful moment that I showed Drogon's wing unfurling behind Daenerys? The script kind of makes it less beautiful. Look at this. Drogon lands out of sight beyond the top of the stairs. Jon climbs the stairway. When he nears the top, he sees Dany already dismounted, walking toward him. For a moment, Drogon's unfolding wings spread behind her back, an unsettling image, her satanic majesty's request. Wow. Like, how could they turn, like, this is the reason why they didn't ever show us her face when she was burning the city, you know. So all of this, like, remember how the fans are saying, oh, she became the dragon, one with the dragon. No, it was actually something even more diabolical, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm trying to say here. Like, these characters were very complex. They were not just two-dimensional, I'm evil, I'm good. No, it was never like that. They had complexity. Everything that they did, there was a reason behind it, but there is absolutely no explanation for her burning the city the way she did after she had won the war. And they don't even know how to explain it, and it's just brushed it off like this. Now, it gets worse. Do you think this is bad? Jon and Sansa failed geography. This is actually on the script, you guys. The script reads, write this. When Arya shares her future with Jon and Sansa and asks, what's west of Westeros? The script reads, Jon and Sansa look at each other. They both failed geography. Are you kidding me? Wow, this is like, it's like a child wrote this. They both failed geography. Man, if they win an Emmy for best writing, the Emmys is rigged. Seriously, it's definitely rigged, because there's no way someone could award this to. Seriously, these two are clowns. Is this a troll? Okay, when Bran offers to look for Drogon, we're told it's weird, so is Bran. Look at this. And Drogon, any word? This is Bran, right? Bran and Drogon, any word? Samuel, he was last spotted flying east. Bronn, the farther away, the better. Bran, perhaps I can find him. Do carry on with the rest. That's weird, but so is the new king. The script doesn't offer much in a way of revealing why Bran wants Drogon. Bran tells Bronn, perhaps I can find him. Do carry on with the rest. And that's about it. Let's see if there's more. Wow. I mean, I'd be embarrassed to actually review. I mean, no wonder they didn't show up, because how can they explain this? Bran is more interested in a bug than discussions about his being king. Bran really doesn't have much substance in the script, which is sad. There is one place on page 26 where Tyrion says, and who has a better story than Bran the Broken? You'd expect some kind of reaction from Bran, but the script tells us Bran doesn't look shocked, simply uninterested. But that doesn't bother Tyrion. Man, this is rough. Okay, let's read the part. As Tyrion speaks, Bran looks down at the armrest of his wheelchair. A tiny pill bug crawls along the wood. Bran puts his hand down and lets the bug crawl into his palm. Bran sets his hand back on the armrest and lets the pill bug crawl off and resume his journey. This is not even in the show. Wow. Oh my God. Let's see. Is there more? I mean, can this get any worse? Okay, as far as where Jon was going at the end of episode 6, we still don't know. Here's what page 44 of the script tells us. Okay, so here everyone keeps saying he's going to be king of blah, blah, blah. But people forget that there is no need for a king. The free folk, they're called the free folk because they don't need a king. They only need the king in the time of war. If they are in war with someone, if they need to fight something. If there's no fight, there's no need for a king. That's why they're called the free folk. They will have leaders, which is right now Stormont, and perhaps Jon will be one of them, but he's definitely took the black. He's all dressed in black, and that is confirmed on the script. So I am assuming that he's a ranger, you know, he's gonna be ranging, coming back and forth to the world. But let's see what the script says. In a shot mirroring the first image of the pilot, we see Jon and Torment through the grate of the tunnel as the gate rises from a POV inside the tunnel. In a two-shot that mirrors another shot from the pilot, wow, Jon and Torment wait for the gate to finish opening. We see them emerge from the tunnel. Things will look very similar to the pilot shots, except Ghost is with them. Then some free folks step into the Fiji fog, I don't know what this is, following them. Overhead, from the top of the wall, we see more emerge following Jon and Tormund. In a much wider side angle, Jon and Tormund, with hundreds of free folks following behind them, walking away from the wall. Many children are amongst them. They all cross the no man's land between the wall and the northern forest. Patches of grass show through what used to be a frozen tundra. Ghost slopes out ahead of Jon as Jon rides toward camera. Tormund rides beside him, and the last of the free folk are behind them. Jon and company ride away from camera as Ghost, Jon, and the rest cross the tree line. We slowly pull back and watch them disappear into the forest. No explanation there. Okay, let's read this one here. And why does everyone agree that Bran is the right choice to be king? Edmure agrees because he thinks Bran will give him some influence at the court. So Gendry is happy to go along. We're told on page 28. Yara goes along with it because her brother died defending Bran. Yara has heard that her brother died defending Bran. She knows his choice would make Theon happy. It would have been nice if we were shown this scene itself. That is so true, because it make more sense. None of this, we don't know any of this. Like, people have to read the script to understand why they accepted Bran as a king. This doesn't make any sense. Brienne agrees because she's a Stark loyalist. We are also told in the script that Bran is omniscient. That's on page 35. When Jon apologized for not being there for Bran, it is told that he was right where he needed to be. I mean, and no one argues that, okay, you should have prevented the burning of the city. He's evil then. Hard to agree with omniscient, the script tells us. Oh my God. There's another bit that I read, but this is in a different article, where it does say that Jon is dressed only black, and that was always his color. If we dig enough, we'll find somewhere. But anyways, guys, this is why the ending of Game of Thrones, like David and Dan managed to make it even worse. I gotta say, wow, dude, if this gets an Emmy nomination for Best Writing, it's definitely rigged, because this is laughable. It's embarrassing. I mean, it still does not answer any questions. Are you kidding me? There's another part where it's actually making fun of Jon's height as well. It says that Drogon is looking down to the diminutive man. It's just like, it's so many, even the wording, the way that they wow, I am shocked. I don't even think I'm mad at it anymore. This is laughable, and it's sad. Unfortunately, it's sad. I don't want to watch the ending of Game of Thrones. I just saw it once, and I don't want to see it again. Goodbye, Game of Thrones. Rest in peace. You know, maybe the books will give us a better ending. Also, in Comic-Con, the panel, right? The actors were there. They answered a few questions. And some of the things that I believe the king himself said is that, well, I like that it's kind of open ending. There is room for spin-offs. That's what he said. So I don't know if there's talks behind the scenes, but yes, everything is kind of open-ended the way it is, because they want to have a chance to perhaps pick it up sometime in the future. Because that's the only way I see that they could redeem this terrible ending. But anyways, guys, this video is already too long. We read a lot of this, the parts of the scripts here. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this atrocity that was season 8 of Game of Thrones. Drop your comments below if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye.